From boardrooms to classrooms, she's walking tall. Crypto queen energy, answering the call. Legacy in motion, with a heart so wide. Free to be forever, ILCA certified.
She's the one who dares to elevate.
Passion in a step, she creates her fate.
Queen connectress in another life. It's dazzling Rita, shining so bright. She's the first ILCA certified. Breaking walls, lifting souls worldwide. Rita Bruce, sunshine and bold and truly. Dazzling Rita, Rita, be with you. She's the first ILCA certified. Breaking walls, lifting souls.
That didn't work in the Bible.
Rita Bruce, sunshine and bold and truly. Dazzling Rita, Rita, be with you.
She's more than certified. She's transformation personified. Health, wealth, mindset, crypto in her stride. Dazzling Rita, the first, but never the last.
She's the first ILCA certified.
Lifting hearts, taking dreams worldwide.
Rita Bruce, we honor you. Dazzling Rita, Rita, be with you. She's the first ILCA certified. Breaking walls, lifting soul worldwide. Rita Bruce, sunshine and bold and true. Dazzling Rita, Rita, be with you.
ILCA certified. Rita be forever and alive.
Yeah. Yeah. ILCA. Stand tall. Dazzling Rita. Rita B. First certified, you see. Rita B on the rise. Rita B on the rise.
From the Fortune 500 grind a real estate game. Rita B leveled up, forever changing the frame. Coaching on deck, certifications in hand. Crypto education, she gon' help you understand. Digital marketing next, vision on fire. Passion for the people, lifting them higher. Expanding the mind where health meets wealth. Transformation queen, legacy built.
Step by step, she's breaking through. Dazzling light, she shines for you. First to rise, the truth is clear. The Rita be certified with cheese.
Dazzling Rita, yeah, she set the pace. First certified, leading in every space. From the struggle to the summit, watch her climb. ILCA family, diving 2 times. It's just be cruising and Rita, yeah, she set the pace. First certified, leading in every space. From the struggle to the summit, watch her climb. ILCA family, diving 2 times.
She's a lifelong learner, can't slow her speed. Building up others, planting the seed. From mindset to money, from vision to plan. She's proof of the power when you take a stand. Crypto foundation, freedom in sight. Guiding the people to claim their light. Dazzling Rita, the spark we need. LCA queen, she was born to lead. Who's the first to certify? Rita B, she touched the sky. Who's the light that clears the way? Dazzling Rita every day. Who's the first to certify? Rita B, she touched the sky. Who's the light that clears the way? Dazzling Rita every day.
Dazzling Rita, yeah, she set the pace. The first certified, leading in every space. From the struggle to the summit, watch her climb. ILCA family, rising through time. This is still gon' say the Rita, yeah, she set the pace. The first certified, leading in every space. From the struggle to the summit, watch her climb. ILCA family, rising through time. Hey, Rita, Rita, hey, Rita B, forever the sun. Rita, Rita, hey, certified first, legacy divine. Rita, 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 forever the sun. Be certified first. Dazzling Rita, Rita B, yeah.
first to ride. Yeah. ILCA certified. From Fortune 500 floors to the real estate lane, Rita Bruce built a legacy, carved a name. Leader in the making, every step refined. With coaching in crypto, she expanded her mind. She ain't just chasing dreams, she's building the way. Stacking certifications, leveling every day. Digital marketing crown, coming next in line. First ILCA certified, the moment defined.
Health and wealth, mindset strong. Teaching the world where they belong.
A lifelong learner, reaching higher skies.
Rita B certified, truth in her eyes.
Dazzling Rita breaking chains tonight.
ILCA queen, standing in the light.
From the struggle to the summit, she's electrified.
First certified, first certified.
Yeah, she empowers the people, expanding the view. Consciousness raised, bringing old to the new. From boardrooms to classrooms, her wisdom speaks. Helping others rise up, that's the change she seeks. Crypto foundation, knowledge deep inside. No shortcuts taken, just discipline and pride. A mentor, a leader, a spirit so wide. Dazzling Rita, forever certified.
Health and wealth, mindset strong. Teaching the world where they belong.
A lifelong learner, reaching higher skies.
Rita B certified, truth in her eyes.
Dazzling Rita breaking chains tonight.
ILCA queen, standing in the light.
From the struggle to the summit, she's electrified.
First certified, first certified.
Rita B, the first, but not the last. A spark for the movement. ILCA rising fast. Dazzling Rita breaking chains tonight.
ILCA queen, standing in the light.
From the struggle to the summit, she's electrified.
First certified, first certified. Dazzling Rita,
Rita B,
first certified.
yeah. ILCA legacy.
Dazzling Rita, Rita B. ILCA.
Certified. First to be. Came from the Fortune 500 grind. Mortgage game strong, but she had bigger in mind. Real estate queen with her contracts tight. Now she flipping crypto, shining bright in the night. Coaching credentials, mind on lock. Knowledge on deck, she don't never stop. From the boardroom floor to the blockchain lane. Rita B certified, remember the name.
This lifelong learner, always rising highest. Health, wealth, mindset, set your soul on fires. Digital dreams in a world so wise. Rita B first certified. Dazzling Rita breaking through the wall. ILCA, she the first to call. Power in her voice, vision her eyes. Certified queen, watch the empire rise.
Marketing, digital diploma next. Stacking new skills, every box she checks. Crypto education's foundation laid, helping others level up. That's the move she made. Expanding minds, consciousness flows. Empower the people, that's the way she grows. Obstacle crusher, spirit refined. Bossed up, Rita with the certified sign.
Transformation's what she brings to life. Through the struggle, she go with the nice. Health, wealth, crypto, truth supplies. Rita B first certified. Dazzling Rita breaking through the wall. ILCA, she the first to call. Power in her voice, vision and eyes. Certified queen, watch the empire rise.
She don't just learn, she transforms. She don't just rise, she leads.
ILCA.
Certified. Rita be forever.
Sing dazzling Rita breaking through the wall. ILCA certified, standing taller. Power in her voice, vision her eyes. Certified queen, watch the empire. Watch the empire.
Dazzling Rita.
First certified.
First to rise, certified. From the grind to the glow, she's the one the world gon' know.
Fortune 500 to real estate lanes. Rita broke barriers, redefined the game. Coaching through struggle, crypto in her veins. Learning every step, transformation remains. Digital marketing, crown in sight. Knowledge on deck, future looking bright. Mindset, health, wealth, all aligned. She raised the bar, first of a kind.
Dazzling Rita, shine so free, breaking through for the world to see. Crypto queen with the fire inside. First certified, she changed the tide. Say Rita be certified to shine. Building up the people one step at a time. From the block to the boardroom, she redefined. ILCA forever, her legacy divine.
She the spark in the dark, yeah, the guide in the storm. Crypto education, a new world born. Expanding minds, lifting hearts with the truth. Rita be the proof, inspiration to the youth. No fear, no limit, her journey's the key. Turning visions into victories. Dazzling Rita be stand tall. First certified, she paved it for all.
Health and wealth, mindset rise. Crypto freedom in her eyes. Transformation elevate. She opened the door, it's never too late. So Rita be certified to shine. Breaking chains, reimagining time. From the block to the blockchain, vision aligned. Dazzling Rita, her star design. So
Rita Broussard, first to lead. ILCA certified, planting the seed. Her life forever, her name won't fade. Rita be the path she made.
Rita be first to shine, ILCA certified. Dazzling Rita, this is your time. From the boardrooms of the Fortune 500 grind to real estate hustle, she sharpened her mind. Coaching credentials, stack highlight gold. Crypto in her hands, watch her story unfold. She's not just a learner, she's a lifelong flame. Transformation's the mission, empowers the aim. Digital marketing crown, she's reaching new heights. Rita Broussard stepping into the light. Health, wealth, mindset, crypto too. We breaking the chain, showing what we can do. Expanding the vision, opening eyes. First ILCA certified, truth never dies. Dazzling Rita, standing tall tonight. Sweet to be forever in the fight. From struggle to glory, she electrified. First certified, she the first to rise. From 9 to 5 walls to the open skies. Knowledge is power. She built her lane through fire, through struggle. She carried the flame, teaching the people, investing in growth, health and the wealth. She embodies them both. Obsessed with the change, transformation's her code. On this ILCA path, she's paving the road. Health, wealth, mindset, crypto too. We breaking the chain, showing what we can do. Expanding the vision, opening eyes. First ILCA certified, truth never dies. Dazzling Rita, standing tall tonight. Leader B, forever in the fight. From struggle to glory, she electrified. First certified, first certified. She's the spark, the proof, the guide. Rita Broussard, certified. Not the last, but the first to lead. Planting the vision, sowing the seed. With Dazzling Rita, standing tall tonight. Rita B, forever in the fight. From struggle to glory, she electrified. First certified, first certified. Rita B, dazzling, dazzling light. First certified, shining bright.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our ILCA 5-day challenge. My name is your Queen Connectress, Miss Marnita Casa, and I will be your humble hostess for today. Now, there is something that I always like to say, and that is we totally understand there are so many different things you could be doing with your time. My goodness, the nighttime is the right time for family and for preparation of the next day. So the fact that you guys decided to come on out and hear what we have to say, it makes us so very happy. So again, thank each and every one of you for being here. And what a special, wonderful, inspirational, motivational month this is. This month of October, ILCA is celebrating influential women of blockchain technology, cryptocurrency, and the future of finance. We have been able to hear from two powerful women already. Miss Melanie Davis blessed us with a wonderful testimony. Then, yes, last night we were able to hear from Miss Samantha that has a phenomenal story. And then tonight, you guys are going to hear from our first certified student, the wonderful Miss Rita B, looking beautiful in yellow. Hello, Rita. We're very excited to hear what you have to say this evening. So once again, please get ready for a stellar evening. We have already learned what is blockchain. We learned what is cryptocurrency. And then tonight, we are actually going to find out, where do you buy it? How do you get your hands on it? So make sure you grab yourself a pen and paper so you are prepared for all the phenomenal information that is coming on out. Now, I see my VIP showed up tonight. Hello, everybody. How are you? Miss Jacqueline. It's been a minute since I've seen that smile, girlfriend. Thank you so much for being here. It's good to see you. Now, you guys know the routine. As you guys come on in, please type your name and where you are from in that chat box. That way I get a chance to tell everybody who is on the Zoom call with us this evening. And to all of my friends on YouTube, hello, babies. How are you? You guys do me a favor and type your name and where you are from in the chat box as well, so everybody can see who decided to come and hang out with us this evening. So let me go ahead and get started because we have a lot of information coming out of tonight. First up, we see the woman of the hour. Hello. Her name is Rita. Hi, Rita. Thank you so very much for being here. She is representing San Diego, California. I see another San Diegan. It's Miss Patty, guys. Hi, baby. How are you? It's good to see you. We've missed that beautiful, beautiful face. Thank you so very much for being here. I see we have another woman of the future. Her name is Miss Catherine Clement. Hello, Queen. She is actually our liaison. Hello, baby. She is our liaison between us and the opportunity that we are a part of called MoveQuest. Miss Catherine, thank you for everything that you're doing for our community. There is the Papa himself. I like that shirt you got on, Papa Leonard. It's very nice. I got one just like that. Leonard Long is here. He is actually one of our ILCA partners. Leonard, thank you so very much for being here and for everything that you do for our community. We have the beautiful Miss Samantha. Hey, Samantha, let me tell you something. That was a wonderful testimony that you gave. A lot of positive information. You are truly appreciated, baby. Thank you so much. I see another ILCA partner is in the house. Her name is Miss Carla Arrigo. Hey, Carla, how are you, baby? She is representing St. Louis, Missouri, giving up all the love. Thank you so much for being here, baby. It is always good to see you. Of course, the beautiful Miss Jacqueline Briggs is here. It is always good to see that smile of sunshine. Yes, ma'am. There is the wonderful Mr. Kenny Taylor. Hello, sir. He is representing Los Angeles, California. Mr. Kenny Taylor, if you are already a member of ILCA and you guys are not a part of our news Telegram group, send me a message. We need to get you in there. Mr. Kenny Taylor spends a lot of time, a lot of energy keeping us updated in the news of today in that Telegram group. So thank you so much for what you do, Mr. Taylor. Of course, Miss Melanie Davis is here. Hello, Queen. Miss Melanie started it off this week. On Monday, she gave a powerful, powerful testimony about her journey and what she feels about ILCA. Miss Melanie, thank you so very much for everything that you do for us. Yes, ma'am. There is the beautiful Miss Tammy Gully. Hi, baby. How are you? It is always so good to see you. We got Miss Janelle Appling representing Colorado. Pedro is here again for another night. Hi, Pedro. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, my friend, his name is Elton. Hi, sweetie heart. How are you? There you are. Thank you so much for being here. It is always good to see you, love. All right, you guys, we're at the top of the hour, so we're going to go ahead and get this party started again. Thank each and every one of you for joining us on our ILCA 5-Day Challenge. My name is your Queen Connectress, Miss Marnita Casa, and I am your humble hostess for this evening. Now, it is my honor to introduce you all to a man that for over 25 years dominated the direct sales industry. His cryptocurrency education is used by companies and universities worldwide. Now, for over 8 years, he dedicated his life to learning about blockchain technology and cryptocurrency, but he didn't just stop there. He decided to go out and share his information with the masses, and he did this by putting on fun and exciting Bitcoin boot camps nationwide at no cost. He has built thriving communities and wonderful platforms like you see before you now. So without further ado, it is my honor to introduce you all to Mr. Brandon Ivey.
All right, all right, all right. Thank you for that introduction, Miss Casa, and for being our hostess once again tonight, getting everybody ready and set up. This whole week we've been speaking of the women, allowing them to have their story. You're also going to hear Miss Casa's story. Wait a minute, I don't know if she confirmed that with me, but I'm going to say it. If not, it won't happen. But I got her up on Monday night for the Monday night recap call. You're going to hear Miss Casa's story this Monday. So you've been able to hear 6 powerful women in the ILCA community. So thank you for all that you do, Miss Casa. And for everybody else that is here, welcome, welcome. This is the most difficult night because it's the third night in. It's Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. People are, dragging a little bit, just got home from work. So the fact that you're here, thank you for being here. We're going to give you guys some great information tonight. I see all of you on YouTube. It looks like a lot of people showed up for Rita tonight. I see a lot of people from San Diego hopping on from the YouTube group. So that's fantastic. Welcome, especially if this is your first time hearing this information. And for those of you, just to give you a little background on what this is all about, the whole Bitcoin industry got started back in 2009. I didn't get my start until 2016 when I bought it for the first time. And I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know what this was about. And there was nowhere to go to learn this information. I went to YouTube and Google, and that is the worst place to go. I learned two things real quick, that 50% of the information that I learned was incorrect. The other 50% was outdated. And so as I educated myself on this, I started to create crypto educational content broken down in a way that the average person can not only understand, but give a roadmap for how you can be involved in the greatest wealth transfer in the history of mankind we are currently living through right now. This is happening whether we like it or not, believe it or not, trust it or not, or even understand it or not. Our opinion of this is irrelevant. This is happening. So we still have a choice on whether or not we're going to be Blockbuster Video or Netflix. And it all starts with education. So ILCA is a 4-year-old, will be a 4-year-old company in January designed to teach what education is. In this 5-day challenge, we do this once a month. And this allows the community that may not know if they want to put money into this space or not to at least learn some basics of what blockchain technology and crypto is without having to cost you any money. Only an hour out of your time for an hour this week. And this week we've dedicated this to the women in crypto, the ladies in crypto, those who have taken it up on their own shoulders, not relying on the men to do it. In fact, some of the most successful people in crypto have been the women. So we wanted to give a platform so that their voices and stories can be heard. So Monday night, you had a chance to hear from who was our first up was Melanie Davis from Chicago. Then on Tuesday night, last night you heard from Samantha from Indiana. And tonight we have, and I'm going to bring up a young lady that I have a lot of respect for as well, that has joined our community about a year and a half ago, introduced through Patty Geis through another one of the programs that we were offering within ILCA. See, ILCA does more than just teach you the education. We also want to put programs in front of you that you can be a part of, and you can actually start to apply what you're learning and then build your crypto portfolio from that. So Rita's been a part of us for a year and a half. She's taken this by storm, and she has become in this distinction that nobody could take from her and nobody else can ever have. She's our very first ILCA certified member. And what does that mean? Well, within ILCA, we have right now, outside of the live training and courses that we do, we have almost 200 videos and 13 courses from Bitcoin 101, Crypto Advanced, How to Trade Bitcoin and Crypto, Internet of Things, Decentralized Finance, NFTs, Metaverse, Tokenization, Decentralization, 13 total lessons, including security, artificial intelligence, and there's about 15 videos in each. That means that she's gone through all of those lessons and then had to be quizzed and take a test, pass all of the tests, and now she is ILCA certified for this. And next year we're going to be talking about becoming an ILCA coach within this, and there's going to be opportunities for our ILCA certified members to actually even earn more money with this information that they've gained. So without further ado, I want to bring up from San Diego, California. We call her Rita B, Miss Rita Broussard. Oh, let me make sure she's unmuted. Go right ahead, Rita.
Hello, everyone. Greetings. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Marnita. Thank you for the community and giving me a moment to share my story. I didn't want to get too personal, but since I feel like that's a very important aspect of getting to know people, we don't really get a chance to mingle much on, we're there to learn crypto. But I love to hear other people's stories. So thank you, Melanie, and thank you, Samantha, for being so transparent and authentic and sharing so much. So I will go a little bit into the personal, and tie it all into the present and how I got here to the Ivy League Crypto and Coaching Academy. So thank you, Patty, because Patty was the one that introduced me. She invited me to one of your first 5-day challenges. I want to say probably two and a half years ago. I joined, I went on a few, but I was busy like most people are. And I had an interest in crypto, but I just didn't really have the time to dive deep. So I guess I'll start, coming into this world. I've always been like just different. We'll just say that, just a free thinker or nonconformist, just kind of, I say I would came in as an old soul. And also just things that happened in my childhood kind of made me grow up fast. So, I've always been like a go-getter on the go. Samantha says she has, like ADD. Maybe I have it too, but I'm always busybody, just go, 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 go from birth. And so I, went through school and went through high school, graduated early. I worked 2 jobs and took extra classes, worked, got credit for that, and I graduated at the age of 16. Wanted to go to college, applied to UCSD. That was the first and only college I applied to, and I got in. But I really didn't have a lot of guidance or support, so I ended up working and getting a taste of, money. So I was like, oh, I'll go back to school later. So I, didn't end up going to college immediately from high school. And at one point in my life, I wanted to be a doctor. So I went to a magnet school here in San Diego, Lincoln, where a lot of the top athletes, Marcus Allen, Terrell Davis, a lot of athletes came out of that high school. But it was in a rough neighborhood, so I had learned a lot of street smarts there. That's where I got I think, a lot of my fundamental life smarts, street smarts. Um, and so from there, Samantha says she was always, finding side things to do, like extra money, dog sitting for her. For me, I want to just be honest because I was a little rough around the edges. I learned how to shoot dice. So I was shooting dice in high school with the boys, with the fellas, and in Lady Luck, I started making money. So I was like, wow, I'm making money shooting dice. I had 2 jobs also. I did end up working. My first job was Wiener Schnitzel, and I also worked for a nonprofit. So I've always been just good with money. Let's just put it that way. Um, Even though I didn't come from money, didn't come from like a family that had money. We were lower class, not, very, just lived in an apartment. But I always had big dreams and aspirations. So fast forward to those street smarts, I did end up going to college and going through school. I was a single mom at the time. I have 4 children, but at the time I was me and my 5-year-old daughter. I was going to school. Took me 3 years, 7 months, 19 days, nonstop. I plowed through, got my degree. And just like I said, my life has been pretty non-traditional. Um, but then I started going down the spiritual path. So um, things started to make sense to me as I started to go on the spiritual path, like numbers. I've always been good with numbers. And if you guys don't know, mathematics is the language of the universe, they say, mathematics. So I've always been drawn to numbers, not like math per se, but just numbers speak to me. So when I got into crypto, joined your community and joined the first project, which was very complicated, MoveQuest, which many of you know, it's not an easy project, but somehow it really was easy for me. And I was able to handle multiple devices, multiple wallets. And for it to be as complex as it is, and a woman, created business, Marnita shared statistics yesterday. There's only like 11, I think less than 11% of the women who have Web3 projects. So I find it as a synchronicity or a coincidence that my very first project is led by a woman owned, women created. And like I said, it was just so intriguing to me, and it came very easy to me. And so I wanted to learn more because I'm the type of person, if you're going to get into something, I better know what I'm doing. And I wanted to make sure I didn't get scammed. I kept hearing all the stories about, scammers. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to invest in my education. I'm one of those strange people. I don't watch TV. I love to learn. I'm a voracious learner. I am a serial podcast watcher and webinar attendee. I'll go to any webinar if it's a topic of interest and it's free. Those are the things I do. I love learning. And so when you came up with the crypto certification, I'm also taking classes at UCSD for my digital marketing certification. I was like, you know what, let me just get all the learning done so that next year I can hit the ground running and focus on whatever is next for me. So I think I skipped all the things I wanted to. I probably had a lot more I really wanted to touch on. But what I admire most, Brandon, what I learned from you is your commitment. You are so like you said, you show up whether you want to or not. You're there for us, and that consistency and dedication, and Marnita too. Marnita shows up with her high energy. Like that's contagious. And we are energetic beings. So like the energy and the community that you've created has, like Samantha said, it's reawakened like a fire in me. There was a time I lost interest in the monetary system. I worked for corporate America 25 years, JP Morgan Chase, Jamie Dimon telling us we can't buy Bitcoin while he's buying Bitcoin. I just didn't have faith in this system that I feel that was designed for our failure, like this system, this construct that we live in, like you're always on the go, running, stressed out. It's like you get sick from chasing money. After COVID, I decided, you know what, enough is enough. I don't want this anymore. I want to find a different way. And I really delved into my spirituality even more. I've been on a spiritual journey for about 15 years. And there have been so many divine, I would say, synchronicities or just coincidences that led me on this path. If I would have been, I wanted to launch a business at the time I joined ILCA, and I just bought a course to learn how to do things step by step. Had I done that, I wouldn't have had the bandwidth to really engage in this community. And I feel like that was a divine intervention, because the opportunities in crypto, you can get on the right project and change your whole life and legacy. And I see the power of that. And I've always been a lover of freedom. So the freedom that comes with decentralization, I'm like, wow, this is such a powerful thing to be able to control your money, your assets, digital assets. And, if you have the education, you can research the right project. And like I said, you can possibly get on a project that's going to change the trajectory of your whole life. And so thank you so much for reactivating me, because like I said, I lost interest. I think COVID kind of did a number. I was not interested in money. I've never really just been driven strictly by money, but money has always flowed to me, just not large sums of money. So now I've worked on myself to I feel like I'm ready for the large sums of money that crypto is going to bring me and all of us in this community. I have evolved, and that's another thing. The project that we were on, the first one for me, MoveQuest, it was about evolving, and the words I just thought, like, wow, the universe and God is funny sometimes. The synchronicities to be lined up with the project, that the words, the evolving. And I just like, wow, I'm evolving in my spiritual life. And my first project is about evolving and getting your most power. So right now I feel like I am at my peak. I'm 51 years old, and I'm not the kind of woman that wants to be young. I don't want to be young, but I want to be full of life and as healthy and vibrant as I can be. So I'm trying to grow old gracefully, be true to myself, be authentic, which is what I believe in. I believe in authenticity and speaking my mind. That's why I really resonate with Lynette. Like, she's so straightforward, and that's my type of personality. I'm a straight shooter. I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. Thankfully, I've learned a little more tact, because in my younger days, I was maybe too direct. So thank you again, Brandon. You have such a passion for learning, and it shows. And I love your spirit of wanting to help others. Just like Melanie and Samantha both have recognized, this community has benefited from you taking the time and energy to share with us. And like you said, the river of money, you don't have to do that. You're set by yourself. You don't have to recruit, you don't have to share, but the fact that you spend that extra time and energy to share those opportunities and make sure that we're not risky, taking too much of a risk, though, that's so much appreciated. And I do feel like this technology, blockchain technology, and crypto is going to change the trajectory of my life and my family's life. I've always known I was going to be wealthy, super wealthy, and I didn't know how it was going to happen. And I'm speaking like it's already happened because I feel like it's already happened. Like I do feel like this is going to be a life changer for all of us here. And not one person that's on this call is here by accident. So if you are here today, take it as, if you're listening and you're not a part of the community, take it as your wake-up call. Someone is touching, I love you enough, and these people love you enough to share this with you. Is it easy? No, it's not easy. This is probably one of the hardest things I've ever learned, but the potential gain and the knowledge that's being learned is so powerful. And so I think that this is the future. We, like you said, it's going to disrupt every industry, and we already see that. So I'm excited for that, and I can't wait to be. I joke with my family, my kids. I say we are going to be rich. Roll that R, rich. So I look forward to being rich. The R in Rita stands for rich, and I am so grateful. Thank you.
All right, all right. Give it up for Miss Rita B. And we're excited for her progress, to see how the future holds for her. She's been that last project with MoveQuest. She's really taken that all for her family, her daughter, and the health side. She didn't share that she's been the most healthiest now at this time than in the last 20 or 30 years or so. So that's one thing we want to make sure that we point you in the right direction to be well-rounded, not just on the financial side, but also from your mindset and your family and your physical, your health. Health is wealth. So thank you for sharing that, Rita. And now we have three women down and three more to go. Tomorrow night, we have up Catherine will be tomorrow night. Friday, we have Lanu, and then on the Monday night recap call, we have Miss Marnita Casa, so you can hear those stories. So far, this has been a powerful week with our women and hearing their stories. And tonight, I do not have a hard stop at the top of the hour, so I'm going to take my time, and we're going to have Q&A. So if anybody has any questions, especially from Monday and Tuesday night for Melanie and Catherine, and also Rita, you'll be able to share that tonight. And those of you on YouTube, normally I cut off the live stream on YouTube when we do Q&A, but I'm going to keep that open tonight so that you can see what it is that we do on the VIP section. And a lot of times in our past, a lot of people had their aha moments in the Q&A side, the ability to ask questions, and we get into that. So that'll be at the top of the hour. So let's jump on into our lesson tonight. Monday night, we talked about what is the blockchain. That was Monday night. Tuesday night, we talked about last night, what are cryptocurrencies and how do they work? What is it all about? And then tonight, we're going to be talking about, well, okay, now I get all of that. How do I buy it? How do I get my hands on it? Where do I put it? Where does it go once I buy it? I don't understand that concept of digital money. It's got to go somewhere, right? It's not physically in my hand like cash. So where does this digital money actually go? So here's a couple of key points that you need to consider. 3 points when you're buying Bitcoin. The first is, how are you going to pay for it? What are the payment methods to get your hands on it? Number two, what platform or venue am I going to use to get it? And number three, where does the Bitcoin and crypto go after I purchase it? Well, payment methods range from credit cards to bank transfer to payment apps like PayPal, Apple Pay, Google Pay, Samsung Pay. You guys can't see my screen? Let me know. Is my screen too showing? I see it on YouTube. Why is it not showing here? Okay, okay, internet has been acting funny in Zoom for a while. Let me try this again. Some of you say you do see it, but the YouTube, some see it and some cannot. Okay, let me do this again. Share. Yeah, it's my screen. Oh, I was sharing the wrong screen. How about now? There we go. Okay, yeah, that was my bad. I was sharing the wrong screen. Okay. Here we go. So, payment methods range from credit card to bank transfer Payment apps like PayPal, Apple Pay, Google Pay, Samsung Pay. Even I know people, I've never done this before, but use Cash App to buy crypto, but you actually can. You can use Cash App. So these are services that people are already used to. PayPal, Google Pay, Samsung Pay. Now, the platforms you can use for buying Bitcoin include digital wallet providers, centralized spot exchanges, over-the-counter desk, private over-the-counter exchange services used primarily by high net worth individuals. That's like JP Morgan is doing right now, Bank of America does. That's not for the average person. And peer-to-peer marketplaces, and even payment apps like PayPal. Of course, it's also possible to buy Bitcoin face to face. For example, you could give cash to your friend in exchange for receiving an agreed amount of Bitcoin. I I wrote this back in 2018. Today, I do not suggest you do that. I know some friends that say, "Hey, if I can give you some money, can you get the Bitcoin for me?" Instead, you want to help them set up their own way to get crypto. My brother asked me earlier this week, "Hey, Brandon, I'll just give you some money, you buy Bitcoin for me." I said, "No, no, no. I'll see you later this week. We're going to set you up with a Coinbase account the same way we did with our mother, and so that you can connect your account to it and get it yourself." There's a couple of reasons why you want to avoid doing peer-to-peer buying Bitcoin, exchanging for cash, is because the government, the IRS regulations are constantly changing, and you never want to get caught up in what they may consider you being a money transmitter and you don't have a license to do so. They want to know, is taxes going to be recorded on this? Or you might get caught up and somebody uses a different wallet that might be flagged, meaning that wallet could have been tied to something illegal. And now that they're sending money to you, you're now tied to everything that wallet is also tied to as well. So be very careful when if you're going to do face-to-face type transactions with Bitcoin and crypto. As for where your Bitcoin goes after you buy it, here are the options. Into a Bitcoin wallet that you control. We call this a non-custodial wallet. There's two words you need to be familiar with: custodial wallets, non-custodial wallets. Let me put it into example with your real money. When you have direct deposit that goes into your bank account, that is a custodial account, meaning the bank has custody of your funds. If you were to pull that money out and keep it in cash in your home in a safe, that's now non-custodial. That means you are the only one in control of those funds. Does everybody get that difference? Because it is very important in the crypto space. Custodial versus non-custodial. So you can have a Bitcoin wallet that you control, non-custodial wallet, or into a Bitcoin wallet that someone else controls. That's a centralized cryptocurrency exchange or a payment app like PayPal, like Coinbase. That is a centralized wallet. Understand this key point here. Not your keys, not your Bitcoin. Just like if you own a home, whoever holds the deed to that house is the owner of it. And I saw in the news, there's a scam going around where well, it's more of a commercial advertising how to lock your deed or lock your identity with your deeds, that people are stealing other people's identity, getting a copy of the deed, transferring that deed into somebody else's name. Now you're living in the home, but then they take that deed and they go pull equity out of your home that you're living in. So not your keys, not your Bitcoin. Same with crypto. When you have your crypto sitting on a wallet, if you do not have the private seed phrase to it, you don't own the Bitcoin. This is why I say you never want to keep all of your money, your crypto, on a centralized exchange. That's how most people lose everything if that exchange gets hacked, if it goes down for whatever reason. You saw what happened with Binance, with FTX, with Terra Luna. So the vast majority of your crypto you want to hold in a non-custodial wallet where you control the private key. So when you hold Bitcoin in a wallet that you control, known as a non-custodial wallet, you never have to ask for permission to use it. This means you can receive your Bitcoin without waiting for a third party like a centralized exchange to approve the transaction. It also means you can send your Bitcoin wherever you want, whenever you want. You don't need Western Union. You don't need to have to fill out an ACH. You don't need to have to go through how can I wire this? I need to go down to the bank. No, two clicks of a button and it's done within seconds. By contrast, many custodial Bitcoin wallets impose severe restrictions on what you can do with your Bitcoin. For example, you may be asked to register an address before sending Bitcoin to it, and you may be required to wait several days before being allowed to make a withdrawal. I remember this, early on Coinbase, and I suggest if you're brand new to start off with Coinbase. But as I started to get more advanced and I was looking at the problems that Coinbase was having because I was now active in crypto, I just wasn't using Coinbase to buy the crypto. I wanted to move it around and put it in this project and that project, that there were a lot of restrictions. So I moved to another custodial platform called Uphold, and I bought, there was a new project that came out and it required Ethereum to be involved in it. And it was time sensitive. So they say, Brady, yeah, you need to get your Ethereum in here in the next 48 hours. So I said, Coinbase might mess me up. Let me go and buy it off Uphold. I bought the Ethereum on Uphold. I went to move it and it was locked. And they said, oh, this is your first major purchase of Ethereum on this platform. We need to make sure that everything's verified. You cannot move it for 45 days. That move cost me a lot of money because I was not able to use those funds where I wanted it to go. And it was locked up for 45 days because it was on a centralized exchange. So just understand there is some security in using a centralized exchange, but you're not fully in control. So they impose severe restrictions. In some cases, PayPal, for example, withdrawals of any kind are simply not permitted. I need to update that because now you can. PayPal is now allowing you to do that. They're full blown. They're like a Coinbase now. Withdrawals of any kind are not permitted. It's also not uncommon to have your account frozen altogether. How many have you ever gone through the inconvenience of having a bank account frozen at any given time, or your money being seized, or if you owe child support, or if you owe taxes, they garnish your wages because you're using a centralized platform. Well, also in crypto, the centralized platforms have the ability to freeze your account. They can pause it. If the government says, we don't know what that person is doing, they might be doing something illegal, freeze their money. They have the ability to do that on a centralized exchange. Now, if you ask how, I thought that crypto was anonymous. Well, when you're dealing with a centralized exchange, particularly in the United States, they have to do KYC. That means know your customer, and AML for anti-money laundering. So they ask you when you set up your account, they want to know your name, your personal information, your address, and you're registering who you are for tax purposes. So now that they know who you are, that means that they can freeze your account at any given time. So just keep that in mind. Now it's designed, if they think that you're a security or a fraud risk. So you could be locked out of your account with no recourse to action. In 2017, Bank of America was freezing any bank accounts that were using their business bank accounts to purchase crypto. And once they froze your account, then they'd send you all this paperwork that you'd have to fill out to prove who you are, what you're using the money for, where'd you get it from, and then maybe they'll give it back to you in 60 days. Most I saw one person, it took 6 months to get access to their money. But at the same time they were doing that, Bank of America has had 70 Bitcoin patents or blockchain patents on building their own blockchain and crypto technology. They were getting ready and prepared for it. The best non-custodial Bitcoin wallets also enable you to customize the network fee. Let me see one second. I got here Bitcoin wallets. Yeah. Customize the network fee each time you send it. This is also not common anymore. Back then it was because it was still new. We didn't have the type of rails as today, and Bitcoin transactions used to get locked up. It used to take sometimes longer than a couple of seconds, or the whole system could get backlogged, especially Ethereum, and then the fees go up. So there is a system in place. If you need yours to go faster, you can just decide I'm going to pay more in fees so that I get ahead of the line. But that today hasn't been needed. So perhaps most importantly, non-custodial wallets are more secure. As long as you maintain key management best practices, you'll never have to worry about getting hacked, nor will you be exposed to counterparty risks like a centralized exchange getting hacked or going bankrupt. How many of you have heard stories of people losing all their crypto or it's getting stolen or hacked? Type me in the chat box. Here's what's happening. It's not that you got hacked, it's that it's human error that allowed these non good actors to have access to your wallet. Most cases, you're giving them access to your account. It's like if you had money in a vault at a bank and you gave the thief the password to the bank, the keys to the vault. So being educated will protect yourself so that you don't make the mistakes on giving somebody else access to your accounts. And this is big business. Earlier this year in January, we launched a new course called Crypto Security. After I had already wrote the course, in Crypto Talk in January, we learned about something called crimeware as a service. That blew my head. I had to write a new lesson for the security courses on that, and we have that in our security courses. What does that mean? Well, when you think of hackers, you think of, the nerds who are very good at math and computers, no social life, little geniuses. That's no longer needed here because those same little smart nerd geniuses created software that everybody else can rent. And they can rent the software, buy the software, and use that to hack everybody else. Now it just opened the playing field on anybody can be a so-called hacker today. And once I started studying that, I became not to the point of being paranoid, but overly cautious when it comes to crypto and when it comes to security. And tomorrow night, we're going to be talking about the first, which is phishing scams. Even how the phishing scammers always try to get my parents all the time with phone calls and emails and how to avoid those. We're going to be talking about that tomorrow night. But having your own crypto and your own non-custodial wallet means that you are now responsible for its safekeeping. You know that old saying from Spider-Man, with great responsibility or great power comes great responsibility. You're going to have great responsibility. And here's the unfortunate thing. Most people are not qualified to have custody of their own finances. I want you to just think about that for a second. Most people are not qualified to be custodians of their own money. Why do you think it is that people who win the lottery, 7 to 10 years after they win the lottery, they go broke? And 80% of them say, I wish I never won the lottery. I used to watch those shows on cable that talks about the lives of lottery winners and kind of shows the timeline of what happens. And you might think, what? What do you mean you wish you never won the lottery? See, they never learned the skills necessary to earn that amount of money. And they definitely didn't have the skills necessary on how to keep it and manage it. Just like athletes, entertainers that make millions and millions of dollars, and they're only in the league 5 to 10 years. And once they leave the league, 7 years later, they're broke. And you're like, you made $80 million. How can you be broke? Because they did not have the financial skill set, knowledge on how to manage their finances. And the school systems do not teach us this. This is why I always say education is key. Education is important. So I'm getting a little sidetrack here. Let's stay on topic here. So why do I need to verify my identity to purchase Bitcoin? When you buy Bitcoin with a government issued currency, like your money, You're interacting with a regulated business. Such businesses must comply with Know Your Customer KYC and anti-money laundering AML regulations pertaining to the transfer of money. These regulations require the collection and storage of customer information, including identity documents and sometimes proof of address. So here's something else, especially if you're going to be active in the space, you want to create a file on your computer where you've got already scanned your whether it's your driver's license front and back, a selfie picture of yourself holding up your driver's license, scan one of your utility bills, so that anytime you're in a situation where you need to, they say, okay, upload your documents, you already have it right there at your fingertips. Okay, that's one thing that's going to help you down the road. What are the fees for buying Bitcoin? Well, fees for buying Bitcoin depend on the payment method and platform that you're using. For example, if you're buying directly from a friend and settling in cash, you only need to consider the network fee for sending the Bitcoin from your friend's digital wallet to yours, which can be pennies. If you're repaying with a credit card or bank, you're gonna have to factor in the fees for using those payment methods. Okay, so the banks charge their fees if you're doing that. A lot of services, like if you're gonna buy off of MetaMask or Trust Wallet and you're using a credit card, they use third-party services like MoonPay. And MoonPay, so it's not that your wallet is not connected to your bank. These third-party services, you're using a credit card and they're buying it actually for you. So you're paying them money. They're taking the money out of your bank. They're buying the crypto and they're sending the crypto to your wallet that you designate. So the bank doesn't even know actually that you're buying Bitcoin. That's how that works. But they charge a fee for doing that. Now, beyond that, exchange services charge additional fees for facilitating trades. These fees cover the exchange's operating costs plus a small margin. In general, you'll pay lower overall fees for larger purchases, so it often makes sense to avoid making many small buys. Let me give an example. I think it was 2008, no, 16, where someone sent $45 million worth of Bitcoin from France to the United States. And they came out, if they used a traditional wire system, it would have taken 3 to 5 business days for the bank to confirm. Also, they would have had to pay a percentage. I don't know if it was 0.5% or 1% or in fees on this transfer. But when they did it with Bitcoin, it cost them $4 to move $45 million. And it made national news when they did that to just show. And it happened instantly. There was no wait time. The moment they hit that send button, it was already there. Cross-border transfer. Now, the number one exchange, and I say this for all, if we're those of you in the United States and you're a beginner, create a Coinbase.com account. And people say, Brandon, I thought you don't like Coinbase. I don't like Coinbase for doing the things that I needed to do. But for getting started, especially in a safe way for your first time, Coinbase is registered in the United States. It's gone through all of the ins and outs of regulations with the IRS, the SEC, the CFTC, the government, national security, homeland security, even Secret Service. They have all interacted with Coinbase. It was founded in 2011, based in San Francisco, California. They offer almost every type of crypto now. You're able to connect your bank account directly to it, and those transfers and transactions happen instantly. Even when you withdraw your money, it's there almost instantly. So, and there's no, I don't have any fear of you losing any money that you have on Coinbase outside of them freezing your account for whatever reason. They have insurance backed by them. They have to abide almost by all the same banking laws that regular banks have in the United States. So now, if you're dealing internationally, now it gets a little bit more tricky. I can't vouch for some of those centralized exchanges. But Coinbase in the United States, it's a must that if you're brand new, have a Coinbase account. They also track for you all of your information and documents for tax purposes. So when it comes to having to report your crypto for taxes, they give you a document that you can just give to your tax provider and it's all ready and set up for you. Yeah, Gemini. Yeah, Gemini too. I don't think I have Gemini in this lesson. Buying Bitcoin from a centralized crypto exchange. Here's the typical flow for buying Bitcoin from an exchange. You visit a cryptocurrency exchange website like Coinbase. You're going to create an account and verify your identity as required. You're going to follow the website's instructions to buy your Bitcoin or other digital asset. Your Bitcoin will appear in your exchange account. If you'd like to take full control of your Bitcoin, then you can send it from that exchange to your non-custodial wallet like Exodus. So if you're doing more than just dollar cost averaging, or you're really concerned about, I don't know if I want to keep the Bitcoin that I'm buying on Coinbase, then the wallet, go-to wallet I recommend is Exodus wallet. Because once you buy your Bitcoin from Coinbase, then you can send it to Exodus. That is a wallet you have full control over. You will get a seed phrase, a 12-word seed phrase that you need to guard with your life. You don't share that seed phrase with anybody. Because people say, well, Brandon, what happens if my computer crashes and I can't access the wallet or I forgot my password on the wallet? Does that mean I can never get into my crypto? No, as long as you got that 12-word seed phrase, you can always open up another wallet, input your 12-word seed phrase, and all your crypto will pop up. See, technically, the crypto is not sitting in your wallet, it's sitting on the blockchain. Your wallet is just a program that's designed to read the blockchain, the code, and piece your what you own together. Think of like the Matrix. You know, when you look at the Matrix, that code, nobody can really read that. These wallets are able to read that, so you're always able to recover your crypto if you have the seed phrase. And that has been so much simpler today than it was back in the day. You hear stories of people that lost their laptops and all of their crypto's gone with it, or they had a cold storage on their computer and they threw it in a landfill. You know, that case in the UK, I think it's worth up to now, what, more than $200 million he threw away. And he's still trying to get the city to dig the landfill to try to find it 10 years later. So you can always use a wallet like Exodus to store your Bitcoin long term if you don't want to have it sitting on Coinbase. Now, with cryptocurrency wallets, there are multiple different types. You have software wallets, web wallets, cold wallets, and hardware wallets. Because technology is getting so good, your smartphone now can be all of the above. It could be a software wallet, it could be a web wallet, it could be a cold wallet, and a hardware wallet. So just keep that in mind. But it's good that you understand these terms. A Bitcoin wallet is a software program where Bitcoins are stored. That's it. Think about that. Just like when I was a kid, my grandparents, whenever they came to visit, my grandpa would give us change, quarters, nickels, dimes, pennies. And I remember my mom would say, all right, yeah, she calls me big man. She said, all right, big man, make sure you put that in your pocket. Don't leave it laying around, because if I did, one of my rugrat cousins would take my money. I'm thinking crypto, would take my money and use it for the ice cream truck. So my first wallet was my pocket. When I got to elementary, I don't know, since maybe fourth grade or so, fifth grade, my dad got me something like this for the very first time, a physical wallet. Now, for us kids, when we saw something like this, because our dad pulls it out, we know this means money. We know this means I can buy something. So I remember my friends were like, ooh, you have a wallet. I didn't have any money in it, but I had a wallet, but we knew what this meant. This is where we stored our money if we had the cash. Well, in crypto, it's digital. So it's the same feature. Women have their purses. It's digital. So a Bitcoin wallet is just a software wallet that's where all of your crypto and Bitcoin is stored. So Bitcoin wallets facilitate sending and receiving Bitcoins and gives ownership of the Bitcoin balance to the user. So I explained this to my mom, that it's just like um, sending an email. If you're going to send an email from one person to another, same with crypto. When you're sending Bitcoin to different places, it's just like sending an email from one wallet to another. The Bitcoin wallet comes in many forms: desktop, mobile, web, and hardware. Those are the four main types of wallets. Now, within those, well, I want you to think of the wallet in your pocket or purse. It holds your money. In this case, it holds your Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So once you purchase your first Bitcoin from an exchange, you will have that Bitcoin in your wallet at that exchange. That is still not a personal wallet. That is only a custodial wallet. So you want to end up moving it over time. So therefore, each exchange has a wallet system. It is very common to have a number of wallets. Here's another misconception. People think that you can only have one crypto wallet and that is it, because you only have one wallet that you use at home. You have, at most people only have two bank accounts, a checking account and a savings account. You know, if you're fancy, you got maybe a credit union, you got maybe a business account as well, but that's it. In crypto, you want to have multiple wallets if you're active. Multiple. I've got dozens of them all over the place, all different kinds, because they do different things for me. There's different functions. If you're not active, you're just purchasing your crypto, you don't need to have that many wallets, but you also do not put all of your eggs in one basket. Remember when I said that everything on the blockchain is open? Everybody could see it. So they don't know whose wallet is what, but you want to make sure that you're not exposed to a system getting hacked or your wallet becoming compromised. If your wallet's compromised, you just lost all of your crypto. Have your crypto in multiple wallets. I shared the story, the program that Rita was talking about, MoveQuest, when Lynette was showing on Dex Tools, everybody that was brand new, that you can see all of the top wallet holders, and I recognized one of my wallets there, and I immediately said, "Oh no, and I switched that up, and I split that crypto in everywhere. I've got multiple wallets, so I still own all the crypto. It's just in different places, you know. So if one gets compromised, I still have all of my others. So you want to think about that long term too, especially if you're going to start to have significant crypto holdings. You know, I had one guy, and this guy, I always tell you guys the most difficult person in crypto is someone who has had a lot of success in what they were previously doing. They've made a lot of money and they're coming into the crypto for the first time and they think that they don't need the education on this side. And this guy was arguing with me about something. So I said, all right, do what you want. He had more than $2 million in his wallet and he lost all of it. And it was self-imposed. He made a simple, stupid error to lose his crypto. And I told him, I said, well, you had all of it in the same wallet? What about your other wallet? I didn't have any other wallets. Do not keep all of your crypto in the same wallet long term. A Bitcoin wallet is also referred to as a digital wallet. Establishing such a wallet is an important step in the process of obtaining Bitcoins. Just as Bitcoins are the digital equivalent of cash, a Bitcoin wallet is similar to a physical wallet. Again, the four main types of wallets are desktop, mobile, web, and hardware. A hardware wallet is also known as a cold storage wallet. It looks like a detachable hard drive and can be disconnected from the computer in your home and stored for safety. It can look like a flash drive. I mean, something as small as this. Many people prefer to use a cold storage wallet so their Bitcoin or other crypto are not exposed on the internet to hackers. Desktop wallets. Desktop wallets are installed on a desktop computer and provide the user with complete control over the wallet. Desktop wallets enable the user to create a Bitcoin address for sending and receiving the Bitcoins. They also allow the user to store a private key. My personal favorite, and this has never gone wrong for me, is the Exodus wallet. Now, you can use the Exodus wallet on your desktop computer, and you can use it on your phone as an app and have them both connected at the same time. The private keys are very important. They actually can be used to restore your lost Bitcoins. Now, I'll talk about this more tomorrow and Friday, but I do want to mention this. When you set up a wallet that is a non-custodial wallet and it's giving you the 12-word seed phrase, write it down. Do not screenshot it. Number one, especially on your phone. Do not screenshot it. When you write it down, do not read out the words while you're writing them down. Some of you guys do that. You when you write, you read, you speak it at the same time. Don't speak the words out because your devices are listening to you. How many of you have ever experienced that you might have been talking about a product or something? Next time you're on social media, all of a sudden commercials and ads are popping up about what you were just talking about. You're thinking, oh, dang, is it reading my mind? No, they're listening to you. Your Alexa is listening to you. Okay. Also, do not write down the seed phrase in front of your computer, your camera on your computer. Okay. Just because the little light on your camera is off does not mean that it can't be turned on. On laptops, I have, you can order them off of Amazon, these little camera blockers where you just stick it on and it slides and it can cover your camera. So I highly suggest that. Write down at least 2 copies of it and have them stored in 2 separate places for safekeeping, just in case you lose one. I shared the story last month of how a woman using her Exodus wallet, she didn't refuse to get crypto educated and just listened to me one time on a crypto talk that I was doing publicly, and I was talking about the benefits of Exodus wallet. And I shared how to use Exodus. She called me up one day in a panic and was saying, Brandon, they stole my money. I need customer support. I'm like, what are you talking about? Exodus. I can't get into my Exodus wallet. And I said, okay, well, why not? Well, I forgot my password. Okay, that was first step. She forgot her password. I said, okay, well, just use your 12-word seed phrase so you can recover it. 12-word seed phrase, what is that? Oh, is that what it was asking me for? I said, yeah, just put in your 12-word seed phrase and you can recover it. Um, I remember writing it down, but I don't know where I put it. I said, wait, okay, so wait. You don't have your password. You don't know where the 12-word seed phrase is. She said, yeah, so I need to get on with customer support. I said, this is a non-custodial wallet. There's nothing customer support can do. They don't have access to your account, your wallet. She's like, oh, no, I'm not trying to hear that. All I know is if I have a problem with the bank, I call the bank and they get it straightened out. Somebody better get me my $10,000. And then she blamed me for her losing her $10,000. I don't know if she ever found that 12-word seed phrase. So that 12-word seed phrase is important. So don't just have 1 copy, have 2, have them in safekeeping, just in case you need to go through it. I show my boys and my wife, they know where mine are. So if they ever need to look at it, they know how to get to it. So the private keys are very important. Mobile wallets. Mobile wallets overcome the handicap of desktop wallets, as the latter are fixed in one place. Once you run the app on your smartphone, the wallet can carry out the same functions as a desktop wallet and help you pay directly from your mobile from anywhere. Thus, a mobile wallet facilitates in making payments in physical stores by using touch to pay via NFC scanning a QR code. When I did the very first Bitcoin boot camp in Chicago, we did a Bitcoin giveaway, and the wallet we used was called Bread or BRD. And everybody was able to download that app on their phone, and I was able to send them all their Bitcoin instantly right there. Now, today, I used to do everything through mobile. Now, I do not do my crypto stuff on my mobile devices. I don't do it for security reasons. I only do my crypto transactions and stuff on my desktop computer where I have my firewall and everything set up, my VPNs. And that's just because I'm overly cautious with security. We just learned in Crypto Talk, was it this past week, guys, or was it last week, that Android they figured out, some hackers figured out how to have a pixel that can record everything on your screen, even if it's displayed for a half a second. And they don't have any way of stopping it till this day, right now. So the hackers are getting more sophisticated. So I'd rather not do. Now, does that mean I don't have crypto wallets on my phone? I do. I have what I call utility wallets that I use, not where my main crypto is being stored. Just whatever I need to use for different type of transactions or different projects. And when in our lessons, we go over security wallets and what that all means. We're not doing that this week, but we did do it last month's 5 day challenge. And by the way, if you're a VIP member, you have the ability to see all of our previous recordings since we got started, which was almost 4 years coming January. So that's up for training for another day. Now, some desktop wallets can also be mobile wallets like Exodus. Other notable mobile wallets are Zango, Coinami, Abra, Edge, Atomic Wallet, Bread, and Jax. Jax is like the Exodus, I think, for Europe. Web wallets. As for web wallets, they allow you to use Bitcoins from anywhere on any browser or mobile. The selection of your web wallet must be done carefully since it stores your private keys online. Coinbase and blockchain are popular web wallet providers. And since this is on my mind, let me get it out right now because tomorrow night, when we do security with phishing scams and Friday night with pig butchering, there's lessons before that that talks about why is security important, and then wallet security. We covered that the last two 5 day challenges last month and the month before. If you have not gone through that, go back and watch the recordings of the 5 day challenges to cover that so that you'll have even a better understanding when we cover in detail tomorrow on the phishing scam. Now, other useful web-based wallets are Crypto.com, Trust Wallet, Uphold, Luno Wallet, and Huobi. I share with you guys two my favorites. By this time, there are dozens and dozens, if not hundreds, of wallets out there, and there's always brand new ones. I'm a shiny guy. Like any new technology that comes out, I got to have my hands on it. I got to get it. But when it comes to wallets, I'm not. I stick with my old, true, and tried faithful. I don't trust the new fancy stuff that comes out until I'm watching it for a while. So write these down. I'm going to give you my go-to wallets that I recommend. I'm always conservative in this space. Number one, you got Coinbase.com. I'm going to talk about the custodial wallets. Coinbase.com, Uphold.com, Gemini. Those are three good custodial wallets. Next, Exodus wallet. That's a non-custodial wallet. MetaMask, Trust Wallet. Those three are going to ask you. Gil Cisneros is calling me. He's a congressman out here. Why? Or must be robocall. That's interesting. Anyways, you have these three wallets. You will receive the private key for, and that you need to keep safe. Now, some of these wallets, they do have customer support if you need to ask questions and things like that, but they don't have access to your account. Only you do. So, Exodus, Trust Wallet, MetaMask. And then there's many other different wallets. I do have Clever. Oh, yeah, there's another one too. Crypto.com wallet too. Crypto.com. That is a custodial wallet though. But they're very good. You can also buy crypto from Bitcoin from crypto.com. They're very security tight as well. If you wanted to send any crypto from that wallet somewhere else, one, you'd have to register the address that you're sending it to first, okay? And then two, because they have a system where they scan those addresses and it lets you know immediately if that address has been flagged. Number two, that you have to put in not only your password, but your 2FA authentication within 60 seconds if you don't put those two in for the transaction to go through. So they're very, you don't hear too much about anything crypto.com getting hacked. So that's a good wallet as well, crypto.com. So write those ones down. Don't get fancy because some new high-tech gadget of a wallet came out. Now you want to use it to be like the cool kids and put all your crypto on it. That's how that one family lost 7.4 Bitcoin. And he was advanced in crypto. He didn't need to be using that wallet, but he had cool features that he liked. And how he got his money stolen was it was a web-based platform like Exodus. And because he's always traveling and on the move, he wanted to put that same wallet on his phone because Exodus, you could do the same thing. You're going to have a web-based and your phone-based. Well, he goes to, and it was an iPhone. And this is what really is tricky. iPhone, it is notoriously difficult to have any apps on iPhone. If any company comes out with an app, it always goes up on Android first, and it takes longer to go through iPhone's regulations and everything. So you kind of can trust, right, that the apps on the iPhone App Store are good. So he goes to the iPhone App Store, types in the wallet, it pops up. Red flag, one, it had a bunch of bad reviews and a 1 star. But he knew better, right? Because he says, I've been in this space for a long time. I know what I'm doing. This is probably people that don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to use it right. So that was the first red flag he ignored. He downloaded the app. And when you are downloading an app like that on your phone, it's going to ask you 2 questions. Do you want to create a new wallet or do you want to restore a wallet? And if you click restore, it just asks you for your 12-word seed phrase. So same thing with Exodus. When you input your 12-word seed phrase, whatever's displayed on your computer in your wallet is also displayed on your mobile phone. And that's traditional. That's fine. So same thing with this wallet he was using. He inputs his 12-word seed phrase. The wallet pulls up. Within, and guys, you remember how long was it? 24 hours? The entire wallet was drained. It was gone. He didn't understand why. And then when he looked into it, he realized that that wallet did not have a mobile app version. Scammers created a fake wallet, uploaded it to the iPhone app store, and when people downloaded that app and they inputted their seed phrase, you are giving the scammers access to your wallet, and they took all his Bitcoin. How much today, somebody type in the chat box, is 7.4 Bitcoin worth? That family lost it in seconds. Just for a little bit of carelessness. Had he done a little bit of research and realized that that wallet does not have an app version, he just assumed that it did. That's why I stick with this, the tried and true ones. Cold storage wallets. Bitcoin wallets are also available that you can keep in your home, your office, or your vault. These are hardware wallets. These are most commonly referred to as cold storage wallets. They are unique in that if you keep up with your keys, which is numbers assigned to the Bitcoin when you load them on the wallet, you can retrieve your Bitcoin if you lose the wallet. So this is where it's the ultimate safety. Hackers cannot get to this because it's not connected to any internet source. There's no way for you to make human error either because you might have it in a safety box. So if you're collecting Bitcoin and crypto, you don't plan to do any selling of it and just use it for yourself later or your kids or retirement or your grandkids, then you can put it in cold storage, put it with your family trust somewhere, your lawyer, and never touch it again. Now, we don't do that. We don't go cover it in this lesson. Normally we would have in the wallet section. We did it last month, but 2 top cold storage wallets is the Trezor and the Ledger. If you buy these, number one, do not go cheap. Okay. Don't think, well, I want to find the best deal on a wallet. You're talking about a device that is going to store all of your money on it. I had one person lost hundreds of thousands of dollars because he did 2 things. One, he wanted to get the wallet on the cheap. So he bought a cheap version. That's first. The second problem he did was instead he bought it off of eBay to get a discount. And I asked him, how much money did you spend? $75. I said, wait, let me get this straight. So you thought you wanted to buy a $75 device to hold hundreds of thousands of your dollars because you wanted to save a couple $100, and you bought it off of eBay? Now, what was wrong with that was eBay's a third-party platform. So that meant somebody else had their hands on that wallet before he did. So by the time he got it, they had programmed the sucker as soon as he put money on it to reroute that money to a different wallet, and he lost all his funds. So if you're going to purchase a Treasure or a Ledger, do not buy it off of eBay. Do not buy it off of Amazon. Do not buy it in Target, Walmart, Best Buy, Radio Shack, they still find those around. You buy directly from the manufacturer. And when you get it, you want to make sure the seals are still on it. Also, do not, those of you who like me, I love to go on to blockchain expos, and I'm always walking the floor and I'm seeing all the new vendors. And there's always new vendors that wants to promote their new Bitcoin wallets and things like that. And they give some out for free. Never, never take those free wallets that's being handed out and put your crypto on it. Tomorrow I got it in a box somewhere. It was a cool wallet. I'll show you guys. It's almost like it has a big screen like my phone. I'll pull that up, but I never have used any of those wallets. But I like to see them just to see what what they can do. All right. As a disclaimer, this information is intended for educational and training purposes only and should not be construed as investment advice. As with all financial decisions, you should contact your licensed financial advisor before investing in any financial instrument. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of our lesson for tonight. So I hope you learned something new. As always, that's the point. We're now going to go into Q&A. We weren't able to do it the last 2 nights. So we're going to go into Q&A. So I'm going to turn the call over to Ms. Casa to handle and facilitate our Q&A side. Those of you on YouTube, we're going to keep the YouTube line stream going so you can see this as well. And if you have any questions, go ahead and raise your hand on that. Mom, I got you. I don't know if you figured out how to raise your hand yet. If you have a question, just put your hand up so I know. And also tomorrow, normally on the 5-day challenge, we will cover wallets. Now that we talked about wallets, we will normally cover wallet security. We did that in detail last month, and I wanted to really get into the top 2 scams that scammers are using to get access to your crypto. Phishing scams will be tomorrow night. Pig butchering will be on Friday. So, and I will go over a little bit of wallet security at the same time. We could take our time. Yeah, we don't have a hard stop tomorrow night. So, Miss Casa, the floor is all yours.
All right. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
All right, perfect. Well, it's my favorite time of the session is when we get a chance to do the Q&A. So we only ask 3 things of you. The first one is please do not unmute your mic until you are called upon. The second one is we do ask for 2 questions unless we have time for more. And the third one is the most important. There are no silly questions. So if you have a question or if you had an aha moment, raise your hand and I will call on you. So first up is the beautiful Miss Patty Geis. Queen, the floor is all yours.
Yay! Thank you, Queen. Ladies, I have been waiting 3 days for this. So first off, thank you, Marnita. Thank you, Mr. Ivey, for an incredible 3rd day of the 5-day challenge. So I have 2 questions. My first are for each one of the 3 lady panelists that spoke. So Melanie and Samantha and also Rita. Melanie, I had a chance to go back and listen to your testimonial again on Monday, and I thought it was just so great. I didn't realize that you had gone back to 2018 when you first had a chance to take a look at Bitcoin. So I'm probably sure you grabbed it at a great price. So my first question is to the ladies, because Marnita, I think they had mentioned, Rita said there's less than 11% of crypto projects that have been created by women, which is unfortunate because we are natural gatherers. We have the ability to lead people to so many different things. So I wanted to ask Melanie, Samantha, and Rita. So, and I would say that one of the main reasons someone, male or female, would not get started with Bitcoin or crypto or even the education is either because of fear or skepticism. And I think that what Brandon put together with ILCA that has smashed both of those. But in your opinion, ladies, if you were to address that as far as fear or skepticism, what have you learned over the last 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years from ILCA that has solidified the decision to put cryptocurrency at the forefront of a path that the three of you have decided to venture on? That's my question for the ladies. And then I'll go on mute. So Brandon, well, I'll just do the ladies first, but I'm gonna go on mute, Marnita, okay? So I have to go on mute.
You want me to answer first?
Yeah, go ahead. We'll go in
Okay.
order who spoke first. So Melanie first, then Samantha, then Rita.
Okay, well, that question is a very good one, first of all. And I have to say, with people, what happened to me is there was a mindset change. And I have learned over the years that, when you have fear, you can't get anywhere. You can't even move. And you've got to have a change in your mindset. And that's why I'm so excited that Brandon is going back to the development side of the business so that we can help people understand, that you don't make any money with fear. You won't change your circumstances until you change, period. You've got to change your mindset. And so that's what I've learned over the years, that people are still a little fearful about losing. Nobody wants to lose money, but you won't get anywhere else until you get educated. And then once you're educated and you find out what it's all about first before you invest, then that's, it's a smarter way of going. So that's the way I would answer that.
All right. Next up is Samantha.
I completely agree with you, Melanie, on the mindset side of it, because if we don't learn, we don't grow. And if we don't try new things, we don't grow. And, the thing that Brandon has brought to my attention more than anything else is that this technology, and that's what it is. It's not just about it being a currency, it's about it being a technology. And this technology is going to change things just like the internet did. And Brandon's brought this up many different times. And, if we think back to the early 90s, barely anybody had a cell phone. And I mean, even back then, it was called a car phone, and it was, it's plugged in. The first car phone I had was in a bag, and it plugged into the cigarette lighter. And look at where we are now. We all have these devices, and we have the watches, and we have the tablets, and we have computers, and we're doing all of this discussions on Zoom meetings, and how many people are working remotely, and it's because of that technology. Well, this technology that we're talking about is going to do the same thing. And here in not too many years, probably within the next 5 years, we're all going to be using this cryptocurrency, whether we want to or not. And it's just going to be a matter of you just have to start. And once you start and you try and you learn, and it becomes easier, just like the first time you picked up a smartphone or any kind of phone for that matter. I mean, I remember the first time I picked up a phone and tried to text, and I'm like beeping through every single number to get to each letter, and that was really time consuming, and it was frustrating. And half the time you're typing the wrong letter, or you're having to go back and erase. And it's the same thing. We all learned how to use a smartphone. We can all learn this. It's just a matter of just getting in and doing it and keep trying. And the great thing is now is that we have these courses, we have these communities, we have different ways to learn this technology. I mean, nowadays you can look up how to do anything on YouTube, and even beyond that, the AI side of it, you can type into Chat GPT how to just about anything, and if Chat GPT doesn't give you the exact instructions, it will tell you where to find the resources to figure it out. So I highly recommend getting into a course like what we have here with ILCA, though, because you can ask questions and get direct answers from not only, people like myself, but like Brandon or Marnita or Patty or Catherine. Any of us love to share. I mean, I used to do videos all the time of how to send an email or how to make a video. I mean, it was things that we do. I mean, that's what we're all about, is helping other people learn stuff. And so if you want to learn, there are the resources to do it, and there are the people to help you. So don't be afraid, and just jump in. So that's my thoughts.
All right, next up, Rita.
Thank you. But just like Samantha said and Melanie, the mindset, I was already working on my mindset. I've already always had an open mind. One thing that I worked on before I was led to ILCA was removing subconscious blocks. Fear, like Melanie said, will hold you back. These blocks, a lot of people have blocks they don't even know about. So if you're not even, first things first, you have to be open-minded. You have to be open-minded to learning something new. We're not just here playing around. This is serious business, and it is, for those that do watch the news, I don't watch the news like Samantha. I'm not really much of a news. So thank you, Brandon, for that too, because the geopolitics, I too have learned more about geopolitics in the world through your education and your community and how it affects the financial markets. I really wasn't interested in the news before because I feel like it's a downer, and it's, just it's a fear, most of the time it's spreading, propagating fear. But the way that you teach it and how it's going to affect our everyday lives has made me more involved in geopolitics. So thank you for that. But just keep having an open mind. And this is not a space that you don't want to not know what you're doing. There's other things you can YouTube and Google and Chat GPT. This you can't really, it's really hard. Like Brandon said, you could spend 6 months on YouTube trying to piece all the puzzle, put all the pieces of the puzzle together. But here you actually have someone you can, like Patty was very instrumental in being my crypto buddy and helping me learn this outside of what we learned in crypto talks, but just having a community of like-minded individuals and who are willing to teach and help you is so powerful. But first things first, do your research. Like, if you're interested, if you want to know the impacts or the future potential of blockchain technology, you can start with just searching that. And once you see where this is going, maybe it will, you know, inspire someone to take the next step, which is to get educated. Like I said, this is not a space where you don't want to know what you're doing. You have to know what you're doing, or else you can accidentally send $40,000 away like Brandon did at 2 a.m. Like you don't want to make you can make very expensive mistakes. So I'm grateful for the education because I actually move with confidence. I know what I'm doing. I know how to navigate and handle multiple, like you said, multiple wallets, utility wallets. I feel I always thought I was smart, but I'm extra smart now learning crypto because it's such a brain, like it really gets your brain to think to handle all these transactions and blockchains and hashes. And so thank you. And this is a phenomenal community with like-minded, inspirational people to learn from.
All right, thank you, Rita. Before I give you back, Patty, for the second part, Rita said something that I forgot to also mention too. When you decide to go on this journey, I strongly recommend that you get yourself a crypto buddy. And a lot of you can get your crypto buddy from this community, but somebody that you're able to talk to, chat with, go back and forth with, share with, and then when we come to the community, you can share together. That helps a lot, gets your anxiety down, and you're not alone in it. You're learning together. So Get yourself a crypto buddy. All right, Patty, you had another part of that?
I did. So thank you, ladies. That was great. Like you said, Catherine, that was an excellent answer. So I thank the three of you for that. And I took notes again because I reminded myself of that. So Brandon, when we talk about utility wallets, and we just went over wallets tonight, of course, which is my favorite topic, even 3.5 years later. I love because I still learn. So we talk about utility wallets. Now, many of us in this community have an opportunity to learn about projects that haven't gone on the blockchain yet, where we're hooking up our wallets to websites that we may not know that much about. And when we talk about MoveQuest and people losing 40, $50,000, not only of MQT, but also all the Bitcoin in their wallet. So my question to you is, even with using utility wallets, how many different projects or websites would you attach that wallet to? Because even though, so let's say ABC Equity just started a project that we can get a token at, right? So we're going to attach our utility wallet. And then we have John Doe Smith, another company that's launched another token. So you have 3 or 4 or 5. Many of us have a lot of different tokens that are not even on the blockchain yet or on an exchange. So how many wallets do you utilize in a situation like that, instead of not even putting all of those in the same wallet, even though it's your utility wallet, because we never know really where that ultimately could go. We could lose even all of our new tokens that aren't on a specific exchange yet, that haven't even come out yet, that could be potentially come like a gala, which could be millions of dollars. So what do you suggest in that case?
Oh, so for those that don't know what Patty's asking about when she says utility wallet. A utility wallet, think of like a construction worker that has a utility belt that has many different functions on that utility belt. A utility wallet can be any wallet, whether you can have a Coinbase wallet as a utility wallet. It could be an Exodus. I would suggest using either Trust Wallet or MetaMask because you're able to create multiple wallets. You have an unlimited amount of wallets that you can create. So the utility wallet is a wallet that you're not using to hold your crypto long term. You're not using for any of your serious projects. It's your I'm just checking stuff out wallet. Because when the new projects that come out, the way that works, especially if their tokens are not on the blockchain yet and they're in pre-launch, and they say go to their website and at the top right it says connect your wallet. So you connect your wallet, and then from there you can buy their token straight from your wallet. The problem is if that's a scam wallet, the moment you connect your wallet, the scammer on the other side can then drain everything that's already in your wallet. So to protect yourself from, because sometimes you don't know if you got into a scam. A good friend of yours could call up and say, hey, there's this great project. We're all getting in on it. Early bird gets the worm. Here's the website. So you're trusting your friend. You didn't do your own research. And that's what we teach in ILCA. Never listen to what anybody else says. What do we do in Inner Circle? We're always researching different projects. And even after research, if you're going to connect your wallet, connect your utility wallet, the wallet that is your throwaway wallet that you don't have all your crypto on. Now, if that project turns out to be a legitimate project, then you create another wallet to be used as your main wallet for that project. What do we teach in MoveQuest? You only use that wallet for MoveQuest. So you only got 3 tokens in there. You've got your AVAX, you got your MQT, and you've got your USDT. That's it. So you create other wallets now that you know that it's a verified project to use. Now, there's no limit on how many utility wallets. If you want to create a new utility wallet every time there's a new project, you can do that. You just make sure you're keeping track of all of your wallets so you know what's going on. I found a couple of $1,000 the other day, well, about a month ago. I was going through all of my old seed phrases and I was like, which wallet is this? popped it in, it's a couple $1,000 was right there. So just make sure you keep track of everything that you have. But there's no limit to how many utility watts you can use. Does that make sense? All right. Back to you, Miss Casa.
Okay, Miss Patty, as always, phenomenal questions. Ladies, those answers. Hello. Samantha, I have my eye on you. I'm just going to say that. Okay, is there anyone else that has a question or had an aha moment?
Mom, you have a question? Hold on. You can unmute yourself.
Okay, I think I'm unmuted.
There you go. Yep.
Definitely technologically challenged and depend on Brandon for so many different things. First of all, Brandon, thank you for inviting your mom to be a part of this, to participate in this. I have learned so much from these dynamic women. I am so impressed with all of you. You're just amazing. Patty answered one of the main questions that I had is how do you step out of that fear of stepping out of your box and out of the traditional way of handling money and move forward? And as Melanie and Rita and all the others have said, and Samantha, it's a mindset. And you have to relax and get into that mindset. So later, I'd like to ask you ladies later on, how do you do that? That's very difficult. Melanie, the other thing that you mentioned that you were into trading. And Marnita, I have to tell you, your grandmother, she used to come over all the time and she would sit down with me and she said, okay, look at this. And this is just a penny stock and look where I am now and blah, blah, blah. And it would just go right over my head. Brandon would come home and he would talk about crypto for years, even before he started this. And of course, it just went right over my head. I was, oh, okay, it's another project that he's involved in. You know, I'm not going to get too wrapped up in it. But now, listening to women who are actually doing this, have studied it, and are being successful in it has definitely changed my mindset. So, Brandon, I will no longer shoo you off with that. I will be paying closer attention to you.
Mom,
But,
are you saying Marnita's grandmother was trading?
oh, absolutely. Wow. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yes, for years. She was trading. And so I wanted to ask you, Melanie, did you start trading first before going into crypto?
I started trading because of crypto.
Ah.
Because of crypto. I didn't have the interest in stocks that much. When I was trading, I was primarily trading with them on the crypto side. So yeah, it wasn't the stock, it was Forex, but I was concentrating on crypto.
Okay. Okay. And now, and I've also heard you, Samantha, and Rita talk about MoveQuest. How has that worked for you? Also, Patty, how has that worked for you with Move?
I have to say, MoveQuest has been, out of all the things I've done so far, I think MoveQuest has been one at the very beginning when we had big successes where it went all the way up to 125. I have gotten healthier, because I am a 40-something year diabetic, type 1. And I've always had problems with my diabetes. And MoveQuest gave me an opportunity to get more active. And at the same time, because my mind was about improving in every area of my life, MoveQuest just made sense to me. And so that prompted me to actually start moving more, which started helping me earn more daily. So I was super excited about that. So yeah, that made a huge, and I'm still active with MoveQuest, so I'm loving every bit of it.
And Samantha, for you, how has MoveQuest enhanced your life? Because it's something I definitely need to do because I've been diagnosed as pre-diabetic, and it's something that I want to get ahead of.
Yeah, I mean, MoveQuest is what got me into crypto. And the whole reason behind it was just the concept of getting paid to do physical activity, because I mean, I need more physical activity. Sitting at home, working in my home office all the time, I'm not as active as what I should be. I lead more of a sedentary lifestyle. And so having MoveQuest as a motivator has been huge. And I have 3 devices. So even when I'll take a break just so I can get some steps in. And when I'm sitting here at my desk and I'm busy working, I'm like swinging my legs or swinging my arms around. So I'm like getting activity that I otherwise would not have gotten. And just knowing how many people would be more motivated to be physically active was the major factor in getting me involved with it in the first place. And if it wasn't for MoveQuest, I may not have even gotten into this space yet. So that's kind of been my initial motivator, and it just showed me it just opened me up to a whole new world of technology that I didn't even really know was happening. So it's been a big thing for me. So yeah.
That's great. And Rita and Patty, you guys are feeling the same way?
For me, MoveQuest has been a game changer. I was already exercising every day because I'm very proactive about my health. My mom died of breast cancer. My older sisters had breast cancer twice. And I'm doing everything in my power to stay healthy and vibrant for my four children and future grandchildren. But to get incentivized to work out has made me step it up. So I was walking before, just power walking. But then when we started earning crypto, I started running. And for the first time in my life, I ran 5 miles at the age of 50, when I couldn't do that when I was 15 years old running track in high school. I couldn't do long distance. I could do sprints. So I could actually run 5 miles nonstop. I don't do it as much as I should, but just the fact that I pushed myself to do it because I was being incentivized, because the more you move and the more intensity, the more crypto you earn. And what attracted MoveQuest to me was not just the physical aspect, but it's a decentralized project where you control your crypto tokens. So I could go on my phone right now, cash out my tokens, swap it out, put the money in my bank, or put it on my crypto card and spend it. So it's in my hands, in my control. That's what I really love about the project, is you're being rewarded, but you're in control of your token. Not every crypto project is like that. There are projects where you don't control your crypto. So that was very instrumental in getting me motivated to learn this technology, is the fact that it's decentralized and in my control. So
That's awesome. That is awesome. And Patty, I see you shaking your head, so you're in total.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, first of all, I don't know if you saw the comment. Brandon, no disrespect, but Mrs. Ivy, I'm like, mother, are you Brandon's sister? I mean, come on.
I was thinking the
That
same
fountain
thing.
of youth that you drink from, you can bottle that up and I will buy it. I will be your biggest
Thank you.
rooter. You absolutely
Thank you.
stunning.
Thank you so much. I celebrated my 72nd birthday last week.
Wow, I never guessed that in a million years. I'm like, and I know your face and I know the name, but I had to look again. I'm like, okay, now I know that's not Brandon's wife. Oh, that's his mom. It's beautiful.
Thank
So
you.
MoveQuest for me has been great on a couple different in a couple different ways. So when I started first with Brandon and learning from Brandon, there was a couple other projects that had been brought to Brandon, of course, I'm sure you're familiar with, that I invested in, and they didn't go anywhere. And, when Brandon talks about only invest money you can afford to lose, well, none of us want to lose it. But I would say, I've just watched thousands of dollars leave eventually because of a project that went, kaplunk. And MoveQuest, when it went on to this new blockchain and Avalanche, and Lynette said, this is it, just, come in and help me show what this project can do. And I believe in her. I've never doubted Lynette. Sometimes I'm thinking, gosh, what's her thinking going on? But I've never doubted her, ever. I think she has the ethics and integrity, which a project should have. But aside from that, Avalanche, this was the first project that I had ever been involved in that I won. Meaning I took not even a third of what I had in my MQT tokens and I cashed them in. And I had quite many thousands that I was able to not only recoup what I put in it, but then go in and spend it on something else or invest it in somewhere else, or even still to this day, I am operating in profit. And I hadn't had that before. Now, unlike Rita or some of the other women, or Melanie or Samantha, I have been experiencing spine injury over the last several years. So my movement was restricted, especially just undergoing spine surgery and still recovering from that. But Rita is brilliant. So Rita said, I have some ideas, and, we put our heads together, and with some of her direction and what things she's able to figure out with MoveQuest, we made it so it was still profitable for me, where my movement would still count for still having MQT tokens I could mine. And like Rita said, at any amount of time, we have the ability to cash in our tokens and put them in our wallet or leave them there. So it's been something remarkable. Herschel, who I'm sure you're familiar with, he started a challenge, a health challenge within MoveQuest, to show it as the same type of community that we have here with ILCA. We are a family. Your son has built a cohesive family of individuals that work so well together, and Marnita too. I mean, just phenomenal. And we protect Brandon. We believe in Brandon. We protect Marnita. We believe in Brandon, and we are locked in arms. And that's the same thing that we as a unit has moved to MoveQuest to want to duplicate as well. So I think it's going to be a great space for you. You'll be a great story, 30 days, whether it be 30 days or 6 months or a year, where your pre-diabetes is gone because of the active movement that you've been able to incorporate in your life. And think how that testimony is going to be able to help other people at the same time that might be going through the same type of pre-diagnosis as you have. But so you can kick it, and we know that you will. So hey, you're going to be on that Smucker's jar at 100, and that's a great thing. And they're going to go, are you sure she's 100? I think she's like 40. So anyway, thank you for that. So I'll be quiet now.
No, that's okay. Thank you, ladies. All of you.
I'm going to add one more thing. If I can add one more thing, I have to tell you that when I started with MoveQuest, my A1C for my diabetes was like 8.9. When I went back to my doctor after a while, now I'm down to like a 7.1.
Oh, that's awesome.
I was excited. I was super excited because I had been walking a whole lot more, exercising, going to the gym, all of that, just to keep that money coming in, but it was helping me in the long run. So I'm super excited. So it makes a huge difference. MoveQuest does.
That is awesome. Thank you, ladies, for sharing that with me. I really appreciate it. Brandon, I'm just floored by these women, and I need to have their names so I can add them to my prayer list. And also, I think it would be great to have a forum of just women. Nothing negative against the guys, but a forum where we can really get real, with the things that we're going through, the things that we're experiencing in life. There's so much that we can share with one another to encourage each other. I think it would be great to do that.
Well,
and I
Mom, you'll be able to meet a lot of them when we do our event.
And I expect you to come over and get me on MoveQuest as soon as you can, too.
Well, you'll be able to meet a lot of them at our event. Well, I'm going to be putting on next year in March.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
We'll be here. All right. Anything else, Mom, you wanted to ask?
No. Patty asked all of the questions that I was curious about, and the only one that I had besides the MoveQuest was the river
money.
Yeah. So, but
I'll be talking to you about that.
Yeah, I just figured we would do that later. Thank
you.
I'll
be over there Friday.
Okay.
We'll be talking.
Okay. I'll be here.
Okay, and just
all right, go ahead, Marnita.
I just want to throw something out there. Since we were talking about the wonderful benefits of MoveQuest, I want to also point out the wonderful benefits of being an ILCA member. As you can see, a lot of the people from MoveQuest came over to us because a lot of them had no idea about what is crypto, how to buy a wallet, how to even get started with MoveQuest. So if you are somebody who is interested in MoveQuest, and let's say you're a beginner, this is absolutely the place you want to be. We have Bitcoin 101. We take you from not knowing anything about Bitcoin all the way to doing advanced trading. And Mrs. Ivy had just told me something I had no idea about. My grandmother was a trader. Hello.
Yeah.
So it's in the blood. So again, even though we have wonderful opportunities that are a part of ILCA, you absolutely want to get educated first before you get into any opportunity that has anything to do with crypto. Because even though we're out there getting healthy, there are a lot of people that are getting scammed. There are a lot of people that are losing their crypto due to lack of education. So I just want to put out there again, before you get into any opportunity, even if it's one that ILCA is a part of, make sure you get educated first. So when you start that opportunity, you're starting it with eyes wide open, not eyes closed shut. Okay, I just wanted to throw that out there. Is there anyone else that has an aha moment or has a question? Okay, back to you, Mr. Ivy.
All right, all right. Well, we went extra long tonight. We had to make up for the past previous days. So I want to thank all of you that had an opportunity to come on here tonight. I want to thank our special speakers, the ladies. This is Ladies Week. My mom says something, fellas. Where the fellas at? Now, our 5 day challenge next month, I am going to bring up two of our fellas that have been ILCA certified. Nathan, and he's on here, and also CJ Jackson. Is CJ here tonight? No, I don't see him. Yeah, no, I don't see him here. But we're going to bring on CJ and Nathan next week to be able to share their stories with the community. I like that idea of a women's type of conference, especially that I can add to when we do our live events as well. And I love seeing you women stepping up for yourselves, for your families, and for the communities, making this happen. And as Bill Gates said, Bitcoin is freedom. And that could mean so many different things to different people. And especially for women, every woman is in a different situation, whether you're the breadwinner yourself, whether you're not, but you're looking for ways to earn some extra money to help out the family. There's many different things, but this space is freedom. Like Catherine, you're going to hear her story tomorrow. She's now a walking ATM machine because she learned how to trade through ILCA. And our goal was, once you learn how to do it, can you just do 1.5 to 3% a day? And you can earn a full-time income by doing that. And Catherine has been beating those numbers. So I can't wait for you guys to hear her story tomorrow night. So tomorrow night, we're going to be covering phishing scams. We're going to be talking about scams and how to protect yourself in the crypto space. Same link for the Zoom, same time. Those of you on YouTube, we invite you to be a part. Now, I'm not going to keep the live stream open on the Q&A. Now, do you guys see what I say? Sometimes you get more on the Q&A than you actually do on the real lesson itself. So, but to be a part of this, you got to be a part of our inner circle. So if you're not in the inner circle, get back to the person who invited you, especially Rita that has her guests on tonight on YouTube. And we invite you to be a part of this. She will send you the link. And anyone who invited you will send you the link to register to be a part of our inner circle and our VIP on this side and be on the cool kids with us and be able to ask your questions as well. So with that, enjoy the rest of your evening, everybody. Thank you, Mom, for being here 3 days in a row. And come back tomorrow, Mom, so you can hear Catherine's story tomorrow night. And we will see you guys. I'll see you Inner Circle members tomorrow morning for Crypto Talk. Brandon Ivey out. Bye-bye.
Bye.